Are you nailing down these components to really make the most out of your cross training? I guarantee you're probably missing at least one, and it's probably been the last one, so make sure you watch this video all the way through. The first component when it comes down to successful cross training in martial arts is really our cardio work. We want to make sure that we are working our lungs, that our lungs work really at the maximum capacity to deliver as much energy as possible to our body. And it really comes down to making sure that we're hitting that cardio. Now, for some people, it could be running or doing sprints. Maybe another person, it's hitting the pool and doing some laps. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that whatever kind of workout you're doing to focus on your cardio, you are breathing hard after that workout. The second component that we have right here is our lifting or our strength training. Now, when it comes down to lifting and strength training, I understand some of you guys are big fans of functional, lifting and functional strength training, which is fine. Whatever it is, you need to be lifting heavy weights. More and more science is telling us how important it is to make sure that we work our muscles. Our muscles are so important not only for overall health, but making sure that we have the strength to perform whatever kind of techniques we're performing within the martial arts. So if you guys want powerful kicks, yes, doing those kicks over and over again, that is going to give you more powerful kicks. But also hitting that, those squats, making sure that we do those leg exercises, so important. If we want to make sure that we are doing our submission holds even stronger, even tighter, we need to make sure that we are working our shoulders, working our back, working our arms, all from a lifting standpoint. So make sure that we have that nailed down as well. The third thing that we have down right here, and a lot of people forget about this, we need to make sure that we have our stretching down. You should be stretching on a regular basis, providing a good way not only to be limber, but also be mobile is so important when it comes down to self-defense training. Making sure that we stretch and that we're not, first of all, hurting ourselves, that can really prevent injuries. But also when it comes down to having a better range of motion, that is going to lead to more successful self-defense training. It's going to lead to just higher quality self-defense moves. So whatever kind of stretching you're doing, if it's just regular kind of stretching, that's great. If you're into yoga, that's great as well. But make sure you're doing some form of stretching within your whole cross-training components right here. The last one that we have right here is what we call activity-focused cardio. Now, this is the one that always throws people off. If you take a look at why people lose fights, one of them is they just get worn on out. Meaning that if they're going ahead and, let's say, fighting down the ground and they run out of gas, I don't care how good of techniques you guys know down the ground, if you aren't able to last the time, you're just going to gas out. You're not going to be able to have the energy to continue to grapple, continue to wrestle, whatever it is. Same thing goes for stand-up fighting, or if we're doing some weapons fighting. Definitely if you have multiple people chasing after you in a mass attack situation, all that really comes down to activity-focused cardio. Now, what does this exactly mean? It means that whatever we want to do, we want to make sure that we get good at it within its own context. Now, what does that mean? All that means is that if you want to go ahead and improve your cardio in ground fighting, what you need to do a lot of. You need to do a lot of ground fighting. If you want to get good at, let's say, defending yourself in a mass attack situation where you have 2 people chasing you or 3 people attacking you, whatever it is, make sure you're running your body through that over and over again. You see, a lot of times what people forget is that, I have people come in from, let's say, a marathon background or long distance background. That kind of cardio may not be the exact same cardio needed in order to defend yourself in a real life altercation. Sometimes we need to make sure that we pay attention to those things that we're missing outside of our regular workout. And what that could be is this last one right here, activity focused cardio. Whatever the activity is that you want to get good at, and in our sense, it is martial arts training or training for self-defense scenarios, we need to make sure that we are working at the highest level, putting ourselves over and over again in those scenarios of defending ourselves. So it might mean going ahead and sparring a little bit more, whether it be down the ground or stand-up stuff. If you want to get good at weapons fighting takes a certain level of cardio that maybe is a little bit different than just, let's say, running or something like that. So please pay attention to these 4 components when it comes down to successful cross-training in the martial arts.